Welcome back to the Zim's Video Journal. This is Video Journal episode 70. Thanks for joining. This is the Video Journal. This is not a podcast. Podcast is something different. Today, this is where I catch you up on the week's worth of events that went down in my world, in my artistic world, musical and artistic world. The biggest thing to talk about was last week I dropped the, on Monday night, I dropped the Seattle Music Scene documentary #1 featuring Ever So Android, presented by WOTS. And it was pretty cool. It's great. I wonder, my biggest question now is how much legs is it gonna have? The first 2 days it made it like 300 views pretty darn quick, and then it's slowed down a lot. And I don't know how much more I should try to push it out. I'll probably repost it a few times. I might make like a specific JPEG that says a little more about it and try to share that around, get people to check it out. But I'm just curious to see if it has any more legs, if anybody will see it that will push it out for me more. I got a lot of reshares right off the bat. Like 10 or so maybe, which is pretty cool. So I don't know. I'm almost at the point of just putting it totally behind me and just moving on to the next thing. The next question is, what do I do next to follow that up? And how often do I want to do it? Like I said before, so this coming up week, I plan to put together the podcast version of the Seattle Music Scene documentary #1, which is where I'll talk a lot about the process for me and all that kind of stuff. And then put in more sound bites and things. I don't know exactly how it'll play out, but I don't know. That's where I'll talk a lot more about the process of the Seattle Music Scene documentary #1. So until then, check it out. I'll put the link in the description of this video. I'm doing that thing. Last week on WOTS, I had Wes SP8, and it was rad. It's my favorite one so far. And unfortunately, not an unfortunate way, but an interesting thing to think about was every week up till now, I put out the podcast and then I share it on all these like 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 even different Facebook groups and things like that, and I share it a lot more. I didn't share this one nearly as much. I might do that tonight after I finish this. Share the podcast. But yeah. So anyways, it got a decent amount of downloads the first day. And there's like 2 numbers on the graph with the FeedBurner program that Google uses to track the stats of the podcast. They have 2 graphs. They have one for subscribers and one for actual physical or downloads and clicks and things like that. And the subscriber number broke 50, which is kind of cool. The subscriber number is like some weird average. It's not like exactly the amount of subscribers. It's like some average thing. I don't know how it works exactly, but it broke 50 for the first time. But I didn't get 50 downloads on the first day. So that's where it's weird to me. Like, how can there be a subscriber number that's one thing and the download number be something different? If you're a subscriber, aren't you automatically getting the downloads? I don't know how it works, because I subscribe to podcasts. Anyways, so there's that. Last week I went to a show. So here's the thing. I went on Wednesday night, I think it was. I went to this benefit show, and it had Mother of Pearl was on it, Blake Lewis, who else? Bucket of Honey, and Richie Del Dente, and Project Lionheart were all the musical acts that played. And for the quality of music that was played, I'm surprised that wasn't a sold out show, because it was really good. And it was just interesting to me. Like, there was a decent amount of people, but it should have been packed to the gills, to be honest. And I don't know why it wasn't. So that's interesting. But I did take my camera. So tonight, probably will be picking out some pictures and putting them online. I'm going to put them under the WOTS moniker. So look out for that if you want to check out some pictures. It's kind of my beginning for I like video way better, but video is way harder in terms of getting good footage for something like that. Because camera, you click it once and you have that one image. And video, you have to stick with it. At least the way I like it. You know, I like to get full songs and things like that. And it takes a lot more to get a good video than it does just to get a few clicks on a few good shots with a camera, with some kind of camera. But anyways, so I just chose to bring my camera down. It's right here, actually. This camera right here. Brought it down and got some clicks, got some shots, and we'll see how they turn out. I got a bunch of shots, but see how it turns out. Anyways, I'm rambling a little bit. Like I was saying, Wes SP8 was on the podcast last week. Really rad, best one yet. But in terms of my perspective, is my favorite one. We really got to talk about what it means to be an artist, which was really cool. I felt like I was on my game. Like when he would say something about something, I could really respond to him and be conversational about it. Maybe I talked a little more than I should have. But no, I think I was maybe 10% more. I wasn't terribly a lot more, but I think I might have talked a little bit. It ended up being a long one. It's always good to me, like, the first time I look at the clock on the computer while it's recording, the first time I looked at it, 15 minutes had gone by, and that's always a good sign for me. That means the conversation will just keep rolling, and, you know, if we've spent that much time on one subject, there's a bunch of other things that I can just dip into to keep the conversation going. So that felt good. So check it out. I encourage you to check it out and share it. You know, do that thing. I'm feeling really good these days. I'm not doing the NWCZ version of the podcast anymore. I stopped that. Feeling good about that. I'm done with obviously done with the Seattle music scene documentary #1. Done with that. It's good to get off the plates. And right now it's like focused on doing more with the tour, trying to email people for the Zim and Arock tour, see if we can get some dates booked. We only got one date booked so far. So we'll see how that rolls out. And then just focusing on the Zim and Arock more, trying to write some new music, things like that. And this podcast. Those are the two things I'm focused on. I'm also have the Clutch project that I'll want to focus a little more energy on as well. I sold my 4th one this last weekend on Friday, so that's pretty rad. So just keep on keeping on. I guess that's all I'll say for today. Thanks for joining. That's what's going down in the world of Zim and Arock. If you have any questions for me, feel free to ask, and I'll answer them either directly or on one of these video journals. And till next time, have a good week. Peace.